Not once, not twice. 6,000 times he tried until he found the right formula, the right material that would hold, that would lead this light bulb. And he says, I didn't fail 6,000 times. I just found 6,000 times ways that don't work, you know. And so this is so the way that some suggestions for people who wants to fight failures, aim to success, take into consideration that there are regressions on the way. Separate between actions and self-appreciation. You know, don't think that you're a loser because you failed once or a few times. If you failed in one aspect, it doesn't mean that you're going to fail in all the other aspects that you're trying to work. Keep proportions. Don't make every failure bigger than they are. Continue trying. Think about learning how to ride a bicycle. How many times you have to fall to learn how to ride a bicycle? If a baby would not fall when he tries to walk, he would never learn how to walk, right? Be among people that are positive and optimistic. They will help you. I mean, if you're next to negative people, it's going to be very hard for you to continue because they will despair you. So we spoke before about the Yetzer Hara, how he tries to tell you you're not worth, you cannot do it, it's not for you. And it's enough that once you listen to him, already you think, that's it, it's not for me. I read once I brought once a book from the library for my kids, and I remember this story, we liked it very much. So there was a very, very greedy man by the name Ahmed. It was in an Arab village, but he was very rich. And he wanted to marry, and nobody wanted to marry to a rich, greedy, old guy. So he goes to a matchmaker, and he tells him, find me a woman. So he says, okay, do you have a house? He's like, no. Where should you bring your wife to? You have to find a house. He was so greedy, he would sleep, he would put some linens in his in his shop, and he would sleep over there. He didn't even buy himself a house. So he's like, okay, but he's so greedy, and he don't spend money on a house now. What is going to do? He thinks and thinks, and he had an idea. So he sees a man that has a very, very nice house. And he liked this house. His name was Mustafa. So Ahmed goes to Mustafa, and he tells him, listen, I went to the doctor, and the doctor told me that I need to walk a lot because of my health. And I cannot walk so much whenever I have my sack with me. Is it okay that I'll put my sack in your house? He says, no, why should you put your sack in my house? I'll pay you for it. I'll give you $100 for putting a nail, hanging the sack on, $100 a month. It's like, okay, a nail, $100, why not? Fine. So fine. See how, in a way, smart he was. So after 2 days, he comes to that house, he knocks at the door, he's like, hi, how are you? I came to say, how's my nail? Okay, so he goes to his nail, he puts his hand on the nail, and he goes. 2 days later, he comes again, he says, hi, how are you? I come to see my nail. And he comes and he puts also his jacket on the nail, and he goes. A week later, he comes with a sack, and he puts it on the nail, and he's not there for the whole week, and the sack was smelled bad. So a week later, when he comes, Mustafa tells him, listen, what is this? It smells the whole room. We cannot stand it. We don't like it. He says, I'm paying you. Why you have complaints? I have the right. We had the agreement. So he comes, he puts another sack over there, more smelly than the other. So Mustafa didn't have a choice, and he had to evacuate that room. Who can stand the smell over there? And later on, he comes with more things and more things and more things. He had to evacuate the whole floor, and then he had to evacuate the whole house. This is Atzat HaYetzer. This is how the evil inclination comes. It starts just to put a foot in our house. That's it. That's it. Not more. We spoke last week about the internet, right? We said how dangerous could be the internet when people think, so what's wrong with just... this is the Yetzer Hara. So, motherhood today, it's like... it's something not important. It's like something low. Maybe women that are not educated or don't have any ambitions in life, these are the ones that are supposed to stay home and raise their children, be wives to their husbands. It's nothing special. The truth is that smart women, intelligent women today are choosing to stay home to raise their children because they see the importance of it and they want it. Okay? And so basically, if somebody, let's say she's so successful, she has this career and she's a president of some kind of a company, okay? Executive director somewhere. And so we know that success is not measured just by money or the fact that you're able to be a leader in your job or something like that. Women that raising healthy children, you see, raising a healthy family and in the other side, building a career, they both require a lot of exclusiveness. And one will be on account of the other. Because you have to give all yourself either to this or to that. You think to yourself, many times woman has this ambition to be something special, to be, I don't know, to be a doctor, to be a lawyer, to be, I don't know exactly what. And it comes, you forget that your relationship with your husband, is sometimes even more important than this. Because how many years this career would last for? 10 years? 20 years? What about family? If you don't build bridges to your family, God forbid, you may lose them. What are you going to do after 10 or 20 years? You're going to be alone? No, we don't think about the future. This is something very important. This is something that people have to think about it. Unfortunately, there are some examples today of women that thought that, they take their husbands as granted and they're supposed to be there and everything. And the husbands learn after a while that they could manage without. If she's not available all this time, they can manage without also after. The relationship is not so strong. What was Aaron HaKohen so privileged before that we mentioned? He is in charge of the Shekhinah inside the house. Woman is also in charge of the Shekhinah in the house. She is in charge of the Kedusha, of the holiness inside the house. She is in charge of family purity. She's in charge of raising the children from young age. She will teach them Shema Yisrael in the beginning. Husband is in this shows or in business or somewhere. Woman is the one that's home raising the children. You are the one that need to be there, listen to them, raise them, and all this. So you are in charge of the Shekhinah. Let me finish with a story that I read today. I got so emotional just reading this story. It was so interesting. We know a couple in Jerusalem that didn't have children for many years. Okay, and so I know this couple. I don't know if they have a special story. This couple did have a special story, and there's names. It's a real story. It happened in 2006. There was this couple by the name Avigad and Achinoam Ma'atuf. Didn't have children. So, first year, okay, you don't make a big deal. Second year, you don't make a big deal. Third year, after many years of not having children, how hard it becomes. It's hard to go to people's smachot, to britot, or even to weddings. Everybody's looking at you. No, no. So did you try this gula? Did you go this? Did you listen to me? Did you? It becomes very hard, especially when people see other people, how their family, Baruch Hashem, increase, and they have a lot of smachot, little kids, and they don't. It's very, very hard. So they're married for 5 years, they're married for 10 years, easy to say. They're married for 15 years. After 18 years of being married, they tried all the tests and all the infertility things, and they went to the doctors, and they tried all kind of sgulot. They did. So they went to their rabbi, and the rabbi suggested to start a shiur in Taharat HaMishpacha in their home for women who do not have children at all. So they gathered, by the years, they gathered close to 20 women. They don't have children, not religious even, and they started a shiur in their house for Taharat HaMishpacha. It's unbelievable. But 19 of these 20 women got pregnant throughout the years. Wow. Except the host. She doesn't have kids yet. After 25 years of marriage, so all the women of that shiur, they decided they want to go to Kivrei Tzadikim from place to place, and they will pray for this couple. They go the whole day to pray in all the kvarim just for this couple. And Baruch Hashem, it says that after 27 years, this woman became pregnant. Now the story. Huh?
How old was she?
She was already close to her 50s. She was 40-something, late 40s. So the story tells it, a young lady, she was 23 years old. That's her name is Karen. And she's not religious, nothing. She was working in one of the pharmacies in Israel. And she sees this couple comes into her pharmacy. She doesn't know them. She doesn't know anything about them. But they had renovations in that pharmacy. Some floors were already tiled, some floors were not tiled. Some had, they were making renovation. And this woman was walking towards this place where there's a lot of dirt and tiles, and she almost stumbled and falls, and she wants to cry out and tell her, be careful, and she kind of couldn't say anything. She said, this woman falls on her stomach. And she doesn't know anything about them. She sees a woman falls. Now her husband had all the rights to start screaming. What is this? Who's doing why you let people go inside? Or I don't know what he could have screamed. But instead, in a very, very quiet voice, he tells to the lady, listen, we're married for 27 years. We don't have children. This is the first pregnancy. And so please call the ambulance right away, because who knows what's going to happen. So she starts screaming on the phone to the ambulance. They should come exactly on time. They should come to the same location. Baruch Hashem, the ambulance came on time and everything was okay. They took her to Rabbi, and she asks him, please call me to tell me that everything is okay. And they go to the hospital. I don't know, it doesn't say. They went to the hospital. This lady, as I said, never knew what's God, never prayed in her life. All of a sudden, she wants to pray, and she's noticing. She's crying. Pharmacist, she's crying and crying and crying. So the boss told her, just go home. I don't say that you're working today, just go home. She goes home, and she's looking for something to pray for. Nothing. They don't keep Shabbat, they don't keep Kashrut, they don't keep anything. So she was searching, and she found an old Tanakh Bible that her brother once got in the army. So she opens and she found the Tehillim there, and she starts praying. Chapter after chapter she prays, and she sees that a lot of Pakim do relate to whatever she's praying for Refuah, for please Hashem, listen to me, Hashem, She finished the whole Tehillim. And she cries, and she prays, and she falls asleep. And after a while she gets this phone call The woman calls her, the pregnant woman, and she tells her, listen, I heard that you were worried about me. The baby is fine. I will be fine in a few days, but we're fine, we're okay. So she told her, you don't know, I was praying for you so much. I felt so bad, I felt so sorry about... and she tells her, I'm sure that your prayers help, don't worry, don't worry. It continues that she was very interested about whatever she read in Tehillim, and she was interested in learning more, and they started to be in touch, this couple and her, and she became a Chazon Ish.
Wow.
But the idea is, this woman, Chinoa, right, never despaired. Never said, that's not for me, I cannot continue with this anymore. I don't know, 27 years, it's a long time. I'm thinking, I'm married almost 27 years. Think about children now, like, it's a long time where there's a whole big emptiness. And they didn't have children all this time, and she didn't despair. She continued asking, Hashem please, Hashem please, Hashem please. Whenever somebody wants something very much, he can get it, right? Whenever there's a will, there's a way. Hashem should listen to our prayers, B'ezrat Hashem. Think about your goal, what you want to have in life, what you want to wish. See Aaron, you wanted something in spirituality, Hashem helps you. You want something, ask Hashem, He will open to you big gates of whatever you want. Just ask. Yes. Thank you. Okay, so there is a sick girl that Rav Ovadia Yosef